It's official, Liverpool has found a new right-back.
Breaking news comes from Liverpool, and we understand they are close to completing a deal to sign Jeremie Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen.
Jeremie Frimpong, arguably one of the best wing-backs in the world, but with his deal at Liverpool about to be announced soon, it brings big questions. Just how good is Jeremie Frimpong? What's the immediate problem with him? How will he adapt to this Liverpool team under Arne Slot? And what's the guaranteed thing that makes him a Trent Alexander-Arnold upgrade? Safe to say Liverpool wasted no time in getting this one done. The deal was completed almost as soon as the news about it came out. Both teams agreed on the fee, the player wanted to join, and now it's all set to happen. But getting down to it then, just how good is Jeremie Frimpong? In his position, he's one of the very best. Among right-backs in the Bundesliga this season, Frimpong ranks first in the league for the most successful dribbles, with 1.86 per 90. The most successful dribbles in the final third with 1.68, the most touches in the opposition's box with 3.07, second for pressing duels, and third for offensive ground duels 1. Then you take a look at his Leverkusen numbers in general, and they support the same thing. 190 games for Leverkusen, 30 goals, 44 assists, 3 trophies, and an unbeaten season with Leverkusen in 23-24. The guy is incredible. Still looking at his numbers this season, in the 48 games he's played for Leverkusen, he bagged 5 goals and 12 assists from right wing-back. That's not normal, those are elite numbers. And it gets even crazier when you realise it's a drop-off from what he was pulling with last season. 14 goals and 12 assists in 47 games in the 2023-24 season. The numbers are good, really good, but from a Liverpool perspective, signing Frimpong immediately poses a big question.
Yeah, I mean, you could even say different positions, to be fair. No, he's never played that right back this season, really, for Bayer Leverkusen. He was either the wing back or right winger or even a second striker, as we mentioned before.
He's never played right back this season, and this could be a huge problem for Arne Slot. Hang on a bit. If you haven't subscribed to Football Historia yet, now is the perfect chance. To understand this is to understand Arne Slot and Liverpool's tactical philosophy this season. It's not hard to figure out.
Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's been fabulous in terms of definitely creating chances, but he's played from a more conventional right-back position this year. What's been your thinking of that? Because a lot of teams, and Trent last season himself, a lot of teams are playing the fullbacks in these positions.
Yeah. While Arne Slot has talked about the differences between himself and Jurgen Klopp as not being a lot, this has been one noticeable difference: the fact that Trent Alexander-Arnold adopted a more defensive role from right back in the team, and this in turn created a different narrative for Liverpool. Crossing is still a big feature of Liverpool's system, and how they press. It's just under Arne Slot this time, and it's done differently. Goals like this highlight it. The wingers cutting inside to deliver balls in. The use of a creative number 10 in either Dominic Szoboszlai or Curtis Jones. Arne Slot has shifted the focus and idea of Liverpool's fullbacks being the main creative attacking source of the team. 8 assists in all competitions this season for Trent, 11 in both 2023-24 and the 2022-23 seasons, 19 in the 2021-22, 9 in 2020-21, 15 in the title-winning season of 2019-20, and 16 in the 2018-19 season. The reason we've gone through all these stats is to show how Trent's numbers regressed this season. From an assist standpoint, it's his lowest at the club. All of this should be a problem, except with Trent. We didn't get to see the proper idea of what Slotball is, something Jeremie Frimpong is expected to provide when he arrives at Liverpool. So what is Slotball? It's a calm, possession-based approach that focuses on ball retention rather than just constantly attacking. In relation to Jeremie Frimpong, Slotball needs width and a player like Frimpong. He's perfect for this system. At Leverkusen, Frimpong's numbers were supported by the fact that he was advancing high up the pitch, but it was also down to him being the width in that right-back slot, which could be the difference for Frimpong with Liverpool in the coming season, particularly with the combination Arne Slot could be trying to build.
But I told them, look, as long as you rest me defensively, I will provide offensively. So try to rest me as much as I could, then I will show you the numbers. So I'm glad that I did.
Whose idea was that, Mo? Was that the manager or was that you?
No, the manager idea, because he's the manager, but I think he listened a lot, so I spoke to him and he bought the idea. Then, yeah, you can see the numbers. So.
You listen to Mohamed Salah speak here, and you get the idea. He had a conversation with Slot and talked about playing higher up the pitch and getting more goal-scoring numbers. But how does this relate to Frimpong then? It's simple. If Frimpong makes the type of runs we were used to seeing him make at Leverkusen and hugs the width, that immediately allows Mohamed Salah the space to play much closer to the goal, and getting a player like Salah in more goal-scoring positions will ultimately result in more goal-scoring chances.
So this run, if you keep an eye on this run here, and what he does to him, who becomes an integral part of this play. Watch what I love about this, and it's the small details that I love here. And are you working on, so you're training? The defender, all he's thinking about here is Trent and where he's running to. And his motion goes with Trent, which then gives Mo opportunities, options. And when you give someone like him these options, it's crazy.
If we play this clip again,
is Trent and where he's running to. And his motion goes with Trent.
you'll see that a feature of Trent's game was to want to come into those half pockets in midfield and almost act as a deep-lying playmaker. With Frimpong, however, this is a different threat. It just makes sense. The less running Salah has to do, the more he can focus on being productive. And in turn, Frimpong can cover the spaces out wide. But that's just speaking from the possibility of if he only plays right back, which is another positive with Frimpong coming to Liverpool. The fact that he can play multiple positions means it opens room for different ideas for Arne Slot. He can play in Mohamed Salah's right wing position if he has to. He won't be any stranger. He's even played as a striker or a false nine at Leverkusen this season, which you don't expect him to at Liverpool. But the point here is that he offers different approaches for Arne Slot. If he does decide to tweak the system to a back three, for example, and use wing-backs, Frimpong plays in his natural position. If he sticks to the back four, Frimpong plays as a right-back who will have custom duties specific to his position and his role, which brings us to another important detail about his transfer to Liverpool. There's the idea that he and Conor Bradley will be competing for the same spot at the club, which is true, but it doesn't necessarily mean they will play right-back in the sense. We've already seen Arne Slot make tactical changes with players this season, and it's worked. He's played Luis Diaz much closer to goal than he was out wide before, and it's resulted in the best goal-scoring campaign of his Liverpool career. He even uses Diaz as a centre-forward now. The shift in formation to two pivots means Ryan Gravenberch now plays as a number 6 instead of the 8. He had played almost all his career, so the idea here is, even if Jeremie Frimpong does line up at right-back, he might not play that custom role in the sense, because Arne Slot could have a specific system he'd want to play with that depends on if Frimpong starts or Conor Bradley does. But there's another quality player with Frimpong that makes him a quality asset to this Liverpool team even without playing, and that's his speed. Pace is an aspect of Liverpool's game Arne Slot knows he has to improve. Apart from Conor Bradley, none of the three fullbacks in both the right and left back slots seem to have that recovery pace to close down attacks or speed up and down the touchline. Jeremie Frimpong isn't just fast, he's very fast. To this end, there's no way we can complete this without talking about the big debate with Frimpong's arrival. Is Jeremie Frimpong going to be the Trent Alexander-Arnold replacement then? To understand this, there has to be a direct comparison between them to see how this works. Comparing their numbers this season, it's pretty clear to see who the winner is. Trent's 5.6 crosses per 90 are higher than Frimpong's 4.5. And Frimpong has more progressive carries with 3.9 than Trent's 1.9 per 90. In terms of progressive passes, the gap between Trent and Frimpong is very clear. Trent with 8.8 per 90, Frimpong with 2.1. The truth is, from the metrics you're about to see now, the defensive actions that is, it's more surprising than you think. Tackles and interceptions per 90, Trent is better with 4.0 compared to Frimpong's 1.6. Trent has more ball recoveries, averaging 5 per 90 than Frimpong's 3.3. And he has more clearances with 2.1 compared to Frimpong's 0.9. With the stats and numbers above, Trent seems to be the better defender, but this again isn't exactly as it seems, because there's one metric that could change all of this. Jeremie Frimpong has been dribbled past 54 times in the last 3 seasons. This season alone, Trent Alexander-Arnold has been dribbled past 57 times, including 12 in the game against Manchester City. This immediately makes Frimpong a Trent Alexander upgrade by this metric. It's worth pointing out here that the systems, Trent playing more as a traditional fullback and Frimpong as a wing-back, influences some of those numbers. But then again, it just paints a clear picture that at right-back, because of speed and what he could potentially be, if he is trained into the role, there's the big possibility that Jeremie Frimpong could become a better right-back than Trent Alexander-Arnold. Again, for emphasis, the comparison is down to the role, because let's be real, watching Trent Alexander-Arnold, the verdict is clear.
Same thing with Trent Alexander-Arnold. He has to play in a higher position. Get rid of thinking about him as a defender, because that is not... It's a once-in-a-generation type of player.
When it comes to being an actual right-back, at least defensively, he still has questions around him. Still, the context of this video is on Jeremie Frimpong and coming to Liverpool. You'd expect a player like him to settle down quickly, because the guys in there could make it feel like home. That Dutch connection could be in full swing very soon. Captain Virgil van Dijk, Cody Gakpo, Ryan Gravenberch, and even coach Arne Slot are all Dutch, so adapting to the idea of the team and the system in general should be somewhat easier. Jeremie Frimpong is no stranger to English football, at least in the youth team setup. He was on the books of Manchester City's youth team. He even used to play for Celtic in the Scottish Premier League, so Frimpong will know how demanding the English game is. Despite the positives with Frimpong, the width he provides as well as the depth, there are a couple of immediate downsides with Frimpong's addition to this Liverpool team. When it comes to one-on-one defending, Frimpong is in the 14th percentile win rate for dribblers challenged this season. We're not saying he's bad at defending.
If you look at what he's been doing off the pitch in training as well, he's been looking to get extra defensive sessions with the coaches. He's been trying to work on that side of the game.
You listen to this and believe he's putting in the work defensively. I mean, he'll have to consider the Premier League, the speed of the league, and the type of wingers he'll be facing. The other angle is from a hypothetical standpoint. Because of how high he plays, running back to defend deep in his half doesn't usually happen unless Leverkusen is under sustained pressure in the game. This could become an issue if Liverpool has to defend deep, which, given the calibre of teams in the Premier League, will happen. Facing a team like Man City, for example, even Arne Slot had admitted in the past that it's almost bound to give up possession to City, and instances like this, where Frimpong will get exposed to wingers as quick or explosive as Jeremy Doku, for example, can't help but hope he puts in that defensive work soon, because judging from his Leverkusen numbers, it doesn't look that good. From the angle of the bigger picture for Arne Slot, Jeremie Frimpong represents the chance to make a statement.
It's Klopp's team that he inherited.
I think we have to show that respect.
You can't have it both ways. You can't have it when a manager is unsuccessful saying, well, they ain't my team, and then when they are successful, say, well, that is my team, because it wasn't his team. He inherited a wonderful group of players that he was able to do what a good manager should be able to do.
Despite winning the league, phrases like this still exist. The fact that people believe Slot won the league with Klopp's team. He only came, made a few tweaks, and made the team better. This is a chance for Arne Slot to make his first major signing with Liverpool, the first statement of the club. No disrespect to Georgi Mamardashvili and Federico Chiesa, but Mamardashvili was signed ahead of the coming season last summer, and Chiesa's minutes at the club have been very, very limited. Frimpong, on the other hand, is a signing you expect to see playing regularly. It'll be very interesting to see how this one pans out with Arne Slot. It's clear the man has a plan. He's a genius, and signing a player like Frimpong with his qualities, which may seem a bit different to this Liverpool team, just feels like the case of something Arne Slot has seen or is willing to try that no one has picked up yet. Heck, if it all goes according to plan, guess it'll be safe to say Liverpool fans won't miss Trent Alexander-Arnold that much. He's Madrid-bound now, and after announcing he's leaving the club at the end of the season, and on their part, the new manager and the club want him. Why? Click the next video to find out why Real Madrid chose Trent Alexander-Arnold.